expert of aggression as well as macro, so we might just see one of those all-ins. What are some of those Protoss all-ins?
The Stargate all-in is pretty strong outside of the natural of the Terran player. It would be over to the left where the potential other fourth base would be. Because you can use a Void Ray to actually take down the depots and then just swarm in a bunch of depths. You can also do like War Prism all-ins are still a thing. Immortal all-ins, actually, I've been getting Immortal all-in a lot.
Interesting.
And it's just, if you break down that depot, if you break down the depots, the Adepts still do really well against unstemmed bio, especially with no medevacs. But as we see here, MC going for a Gateway Scout, this could be a proxy. And I say that because it's not like you either probe scout this early when you're going Nexus first and you're making sure you're not gonna just you figure out what the Terran's gonna do, or you're just trying to get a fix on what's going on. But Ryung, he's gonna go for that command center first, and
looking like a very similar build to last game at least.
Yeah, he might go into 3 racks, which.
So I hope that MC does go for that Robo and the War Prism.
Just to prove me wrong.
This game.
And yeah. I mean, MC I think is just playing out standard, and Ryung going for that CC first is there's not much else going on.
Yeah, the second barracks coming down, so pretty much mirror builds from last game for both players for the most part, up until this point at least.
It's kind of surprising that MC doesn't go Nexus first on a map like this. I don't think there's really much to do. There are a couple of Terrans like Kelazur who have been going Proxy Reaper, but I think it's like a high risk, high reward thing. But of course, I mean, any proxy is, but Nexus first I think is like Protoss players could pretty much go Nexus first on most of these maps against Terran, especially against a player like Ryung who's been going if he has been going aggression, it's been a 1-1-1 where if you go safety Stargate into Phoenix, it's pretty easy to defend. But I guess a lot of Protoss players are opening up a little bit more safer nowadays just because of the pylon and the adept changes. But looks like standard Robo getting adept. We'll see if a Twilight Council comes in. If a Twilight Council does come in, that's gonna be more towards the adept upgrade, or it might even be Blink. We've seen Blink a couple times in this tournament instead of an adept, but Ryung's just scouting around.
Do you think that we're gonna see that War Prism all-in from MC?
It is very possible. The lack of a Twilight Council, though, makes me say no. Because you really do need that Adept upgrade.
Are you expecting a War Prism at all right now?
Yeah, you can...
and there's the Twilight Council.
Yeah, you can get that you can get a War Prism, and you can just use the Adepts to pretty much keep... It's a light pressure, and of course it's a lot... Like a Robo, I think, in TVP is a lot more useful than a Stargate. Unless you're going to go into Phoenixes, having observers out on the map, having the possibility to go into Disruptors. Nice pick off with the SCV, sees a lack of third. We'll have to see if there's a Gateway Explosion, because that would signify an all-in. And, yeah. And Ryung's getting that safety bunker. Oh, and wow, it's going to actually be DT drops, so this is pretty annoying. But an eBay is actually coming up for Ryung, so... As long as Ryung throws down
the scan! The money scan! Perfect scan by Ryung.
Yeah. So as long as he has units in his mineral lines with missile turrets, and he can even send, after a medevac comes out, he can even send a medevac over to do counter damage to MC. So Ryung's in a fantastic position right now.
Do you think MC will cancel the Dark Shrine?
I think if he was to cancel it, he would have canceled it already.
Yeah, probably. There's no reason to keep it after the scan runs out. So, yeah, it makes me wonder why do you think he would keep it when it's been fully scouted already, or perhaps MC is just.
I think he's scouting. He's scouting out with his
first.
observer if there's missile turrets going down. He doesn't see.
Because sometimes you can play double mind games, right? I scanned the DT shrine, therefore you're gonna cancel it, and then skip on the anti-DT. So,
and MC's reaction to getting scanned was actually taking a third. The thing about with DT drops or any kind of heavy tech choice harass is that it keeps your opponent in their base. For example, Ryung can't just move across the map when he knows that DT's
not without saving a lot of scans.
Exactly, and which is why MC is taking such a quick third.
So MC using the information that he gave Ryung to his advantage in some ways. Very well done. And Blink is almost finished now for MC. He hasn't warped in any DTs despite having the Dark Shrine. But having the Dark Shrine, like you say, is going to be a good thing.
And Ryung might even scan the main again and see if he did cancel it or not. But having it there, like if you rescan the building and it's still there, you're going to always think in the back of your head, DTs. Like you don't want to just lose your army and then there's like a DT in every base right now. But yeah, like Ryung in all these matches he's been delaying his third command center pretty late. Like the 550 mark's pretty late for his opener.
Do you think that's to account for Adeptolins?
Yeah. Or any kind of all-in, to be honest. Like, he just doesn't want to die in early game. I think he's confident enough in his mid-game and late game to be able to...
I'm not sure if that scan was necessary. The Observer has been parked there forever, and there are a million units. He's like, I saw you.
I mean, killing Observer is nice. It forces MC to actually...
Oh, no, I didn't... the stim, I'm sorry. Not
the scan.
Okay,
yeah.
The stim, yeah.
Maybe he really wanted to get it.
Yeah.
But as we see a double drop coming from Ryung, good positioning of the pylon though for MC actually deterring that away. But Ryung could actually break down the rocks and just stem into the third. And it's funny that MC is actually going for the Adept upgrade while making Stalkers. Maybe it's a misclick? Or does he already have Blink?
Already
Oh yeah,
he already got Blink.
What am I thinking? But the War Prism is going to come in. It's always a good tool. Like I think most Protoss players should always have a War Prism or learn how to use it because it's such a good tool to just counter harass. Like we saw before on Preon Terraces, just forcing the Terran player to not parade push. They have to keep some units back when they do. And
yeah, especially with Dark Templars in play as well. That could be really dicey for Ryung.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, because then how do you deal with that? You just need to save so many scans, right?
You have to save scans, or you got to keep, like, what I would normally do is after I move out with my initial army, put all my rallies on missile turret in the mineral lines of missile turret in your mineral lines, and then you got to collect them all when you want to move out again.
Yeah.
It's a hindrance, pretty much. But Ryung is going to go into Liberators only after how many medevacs does he have? He has 4 medevacs, so I guess it's pretty standard. 4 to 6 medevacs is what you use, and if you're not being aggressive with the medevacs. If you are being aggressive with the medevacs...
Did he kill the War Prism just now?
Yep.
That's pretty huge.
MC, I don't...
If MC is gonna commit, he needs to commit right now. Otherwise, just yeah. Okay, he's getting another War Prism. So, yeah, I'm not sure if he did warp in back at home, right? So he's gonna bring those Blink Stalkers.
I mean, the army supply is heavily in MC's favor because he did take that quicker third, so everything's just amped up. I do like this going around. He's gonna probably break the rocks of Ryung, and so no, he's not. I would think that he would break the rocks because then he can force the Liberators to choose a side to commit on.
Yeah, he may not necessarily know that he has such a big army advantage, so maybe that's why he's erring on the side of caution. But we'll see what he decides to do from here.
I do like this style from Ryung, only going for 4 medevacs. Usually, if you're being aggressive as a Terran player and dropping everywhere, you don't just go to 4 medevacs because then your main army doesn't have any medevacs. You usually will go up to 6 to 8 medevacs and then like drop everywhere and then keep like 4 at home. But that's a pretty strong army, and he's even getting charged, which is gonna help out close the distance to the bio.
Yeah, so pretty much every upgrade for his gateway units.
Ryung can't get trapped here. Like, if he gets caught out position right here, he could just lose. Like, Liberator's actually horrible when you're caught off guard, because you essentially are just spamming the Liberation Zone down, and it's really easy for the Stalkers to just target fire, because...
And then you're not microing your bio as well as you could.
Exactly.
And,
Liberators are the perfect zoning, but they're horrible in, like, surprise fights, if that makes
much like
any
tanks
sense.
would be, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Takes time to siege and actions as well to do so.
Oh, he's going for a Doom Drop. It's getting spotted by MC. Now, MC has a choice. Is he going to split up his army?
He's probably going to bring under this.
If he can catch it in time. If anything, he's going to move his Mothership Core to his natural for the pylons.
I think he
can he has High Templar.
I think he
and
can
those are full medevacs.
Full energy, yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is actually huge. He could actually get 4. This would be...
I think he might just get him with the Blink Stalkers. Oh my god, he blinks under them!
Gets 3.
3 of them.
And
Pretty
look at
big.
that supply drop.
Ouch. So is this the time for MC to capitalize? The game was shaping up much like the previous game, in pretty much every way, except MC didn't go for Colossus this time around. But with that pickoff, MC gets a huge supply lead, and will he capitalize on it? It looks like he's just taking a 4th behind it. Do you think he should just attack, or at least try to deny a 4th from Ryung, perhaps?
Last time he did take a 4th, it was on Dust Towers, and he actually lost that game. I would think that he would try to actually push. He actually doesn't scout the 4th base of Ryung, so he can't really know that for sure. But I would say if MC, he's going to scout it now, but I think he's going to try to pressure either the 3rd base and force Ryung back with the Liberators, or like go straight to the 4th. But as we see, he is going to go into the 3rd. I think he could have committed there. Yeah, he definitely could have committed there and picked off all those Liberators for essentially free, like only losing like 4 Stalkers.
You think so? 4 Liberators? That's powerful, man.
He has like 20 Stalkers if
True.
he blinks under.
True.
It's like Stalkers like what, 4 shot, 5 shot?
I really doubt it's 4 shots.
He would kill the Liberators pretty easily.
He would kill him pretty soon.
I mean, as a Protoss player, I think the biggest thing is, like, you really hate Liberators. I mean, because they just zone you out so hard. Storm is done, though, and this is what I wish I saw in Dust Towers. The double Stargate. Yeah, the Tempest deal with Liberators so nicely. MC is actually going to come in here and try to pick out a Liberator. Doesn't so, and loses 3 units in the process. But Ghosts are out, which if he gets key EMPs on the High Templar or even any of the Stalker army, like the Stalkers will just get shredded by Liberators.
Definitely. Ryung on top of his upgrades, he is getting 3-3 and almost maxed, so all of a sudden losing all those units in the medevac's a lot less impactful than it may have seemed at that point in time.
So MC is going to just try to trade away these Adepts, which he's not target firing the Workers. I think he could have got like at least 5 or 6.
Start some Colossus in their place.
Not sure, like Colossus, I guess the Fleet Beacon isn't already up to make Tempest, but yeah, I really hope MC doesn't stop at 2-2 like he did before. He has a pretty big bank, so I assume he's not going to. He's going to go straight into 3-3, but
he's pretty low on gas though. Only 300 gas right now banked up for MC.
Yeah, he does have a lot invested. He's actually getting +1 air. And
a lot of the Liberators getting caught.
About. Yeah, he already loses like 3 Liberators
nice
and
storms.
runs into a storm.
Wow.
2 storms ran into.
Everything going the way of MC so far this game by the looks of it, but Ryung with very good vision from the what do you call those things? Sensor towers.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a pretty decent defensive setup. It's always annoying and difficult to push into those.
Ryung has 7 Liberators. They don't have the upgrade, though, which is kind of scary because, like, if you do have the upgrade, you can actually zone out bases quite easily, but he actually has to commit quite much as MC's killing his own pylons, which is pretty humorous. But you don't want Ryung to get to your side of the map as a Protoss player, just because the Liberators will essentially zone out your base and kill it, and you're forced to take a fight under Liberators, which no one wants to do. But MC is going to start looking towards that late game super army versus Terran, which is essentially Storm, Tempest, and a bunch of gateway units. But he's actually out of position. Nice blink upward, but he's going to run under
Oh my god, the rest of his army gets zoned out pretty hard. And on the top, the Colossus actually doing a lot of damage.
EMP on this High Templar, though.
Those Colossus almost invisible on this map, by the way.
They're Dark Colossus.
Pretty much. You cannot see how many they have. They're exactly the same color as the terrain. The same shade as the terrain on the high ground. So, pretty powerful unit to use on this map. If I get that skin, I will definitely get Colossus on this map.
Yeah. MC's maxed out. Ryung's not maxed out. But...
Whoa.
I mean, I don't know what those units were doing out there. These Liberators are actually going to get caught, or not caught, but scouted, which is really nice because the Tempest can start working their way over there. Liberator range is
he trying to trade these Liberators or just deny the mining at the 4th and 5th?
Yeah, he's just trying to deny mining. But really good. Oh my gosh, so MC's going to lose all these Stalkers, or most of them. But really nice pick off from Ryung, trying to pick off most of the Stalkers. And yeah, here we go. The Liberator range is actually going to be really well placed. And like I said before, like, actually, are those... I don't know if those are actually in the Liberate, like the full max range of the Liberators. You okay there?
Yeah.
Okay. Jeans.
Not sure.
But Ryung does scout the Tempest, and he's going to go into Vikings, which is the only real way to deal with Tempest. The problem with going into Vikings is that Storm destroy Vikings very easily. So it's kind of like a death ball situation.
It's not like you have a choice, though, right?
No, you have.
It's what
you have
to do against Tempest.
So essentially, what you need to do is get your Ghost to EMP the High Templar at the same time, microing your Vikings against the Tempest. Really nice liberation zones from Ryung, picking off some workers, but the Tempests are gonna come and snipe them away. Where are the Tempests, by the way? I think they're going over to the 4th. Yeah, there they are.
Yeah, so they're gonna go get rid of those Liberators, and we have a pretty intense and pretty now kind of a slower game, right? Where both players seem to just be
it's all about positioning
content
right
sitting,
now.
yeah. So is this? Oh, but Ryung finally. Oh, he's stimming forward too. He wants to commit here. And a lot of Liberators are sieging up. Oh my god, MC is going to lose so much of his army retreating. His pylon working against them for the first time in life. And, oh my god, that was a great trade for Ryung, who jumps in the supply by over 40.
Ryung's actually a genius. He used those Liberators to bait the Tempest over to kill them. And then when he did that, he stemmed in and tried to commit it. He could have probably went all the way up to the ramp of the main base of MC. It's a greedier play, but if you go up there and camp the production, you actually essentially force all the units to go up into those liberation zones, and the only units that can attack are the Tempest and Colossus.
Not very much support from gateway units here is going to make it so that the Tempest and the Colossus are very exposed.
Ooh, that's pretty good Storm, and he actually picks off all the Liberators. So
this continues to be a great Ryung fight, and it
Two
might
more
just be able
storms
to
might be-
close out the game here. With a few solid reinforcements, finally MC getting a little bit of things going his way in this fight, but it looks like Ryung just has a little bit too much, and MC is gonna have to GG.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, the baiting of the Tempest over at the 4th was the key moment, because
That was great.
Scouted,
Yeah, that was a really cool move. And with that, Ryung gets himself ahead in the series, and actually
2-1.
2-1, and actually winning both of the macro games.
Yeah.
Which is where I was saying like MC
He had a
seemed to
lead.
have an advantage.
Yeah, it's
in
just the
macro
little
games, so.
things.
Yeah, Ryung playing that very, very well.
Yeah.
Those have to be the two most macro-oriented maps though that we have. So
Yeah. Or
probably
Rolling
gonna see a
Dust.
little bit more faster-paced, more aggressive games coming up. And big blunders by Ryung during that game, losing all 3 medevacs full. I thought might be lights out for him, and things looked pretty good for MC for the majority of that game. So very surprising win with a brilliant tactic by Ryung there, as you mentioned, by pulling the Tempests out of position. So game